ZiFM right now. This is The Big Show. It's The Quest, and it's come through on Tuesday afternoon. So in the studio, we had to call Alexio into the studio because Alexio been doing some new things, some ting-a-ling-a-lings. So we said, no, you know what? Kana wagwita anything unofana ungo chishikiro kuno tionani because you know I'm like your best friend in radio. Tell them, Alexio.
You're my best friend.
I'm your best friend in radio.
You are my best friend. How many times did I say it?
When we talk about his best friends from radio, he mentions me. All right. So we've got Alexio Kawara in the studio. Got to start off with that smash hit called Shaina. Quick question. Shaina and Tinodanana, which one do you think is a bigger song, according to Alexio?
Why? Why?
I know as a father, you're not supposed to have favorites. But
okay. I think Tinodanana.
Why? Does she love story?
Man,
I put you on the spot.
Yes, I was really not expecting that question. I'm thinking, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I really love love. Yeah, and I think Tererai also made. It's very difficult to judge your own self. So Tererai being part of Tinodanana, I thought is the chemistry bude. That's my belief. So I love the chemistry in that song.
Out of the two songs, which one had the most retakes or refixes or more kanika? I have a feeling you're going to say Shaina, and I know why.
I think it was Shaina.
Because according to sources, they say Andy Brown was such a perfectionist.
And besides, the story is we met at Flash Gordon studio. Yes, exactly. And then I was doing this song with Mark D. And then he was passing through, and then he had the song, came back, and then put a guitar. But unfortunately, there was one string that was not really in key, and then we had to do a retake at his house in is it Cranbourne?
In Cranbourne, yes.
And then we did retakes there, and then so obviously when we are in his house, now he's in charge, so he's doing all these takes. I actually have more takes of him, some of them that we didn't even use on
no way
on the mixing. So
he was that much of a perfectionist.
He was, and I have lots of those guitars.
Oh, wow.
I hope I'll be able to use them one day.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to break for the 2020 news headlines real quickly, and then we'll come back and then we'll continue our conversation with Alexio. We got lots to catch up on, and he's got a brand new song, so don't go anywhere.
ZiFM Stereo 2020 News Headlines.
Corruption-accused businessmen Mike Chimombe and Moses Mpofu denied bail. Kuvimba Mining implements mine-to-market traceability software, and Rwandan president secures landslide re-election. More news in detail at the top of the hour.
When you compile your top 10 or top 20 love songs from Zimbabwe, if Tinodanana is not in the top 5, I'm ready to fight. This is one song that I'll go to war for as far as one of the best love songs to ever come out of the country.
Wow, thank you so much.
When you compile your best love songs, what number do you put Tinodanana? I keep putting you on the spot.
Yeah, you keep doing that. I put it on number 1.
You put it on number 1.
It's number 2, Kuruizi. Yes.
But we're talking about Alexio's songs, right?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
So there's Nehana, there's Inindoda, Muskana Kanaka.
Yeah, that one.
I remember hearing that song for the first time, and I was like, yo, I don't know what to know Geza. I even want to feel out Geza. I to Geza, but to know you song.
And there's Omu. Oh yeah, Omu. I think I really love that myself.
And Chiwande is another one.
Oh yeah.
That one brings back memories, but anyway, that's a story for another day. Okay. But I would like to know from you, when it comes to your music over the years, one thing you've been very consistent about is your sound. You're very soulful in your sound, the way you sing, the way you compose your music. But you've never really fallen into the way things are done, like falling into the trends. You stuck to your own sound. Why is this? Why have you never tried to experiment with these new sounds?
I think I have. But I think somehow you just end up coming back. You know how it is, like the best thing that you can actually just do is change a producer. And then they try to just kind of do a different sound. Like, for example, Jaj, I think for me it was a different song. It
was a different song, but it also kind of matched with Kariuaka.
Oh, really?
In terms of the vibes?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know. I would not know. And then there's also the baby.
That is true.
So I think I've tried to just move a little bit. Yeah, because that's the real me, I suppose. Yeah, so you can't really move away from who you are. But everything else, you're just trying here and there, but the real person still comes out. And I believe that if you do that, that brings out the best songs, rather than you trying to be all over the place.
When it comes to Nombozite, remember how we were growing up, there was always that song yaitu munakango akamuvumuka ozotanga kuimba vunzwanani rotomoka. You remember that?
Yeah.
So Nombozite is now the modern version of that, because ukangopinda patay tunoza Nombozite.
I think that was the idea, because panenye sorry yako yoyo, and because people tajaira, we are always saying sorry, and we think it will solve everything. So but the question is, but why watsokorodza, why again, why, so yeah.
So music is a passion. Music, like anything that anyone is passionate about and talented in, it's one of those things you can't just push to the side. You stay strong, you stay true to it. It's for life, it's for good. Anditi.
That's true.
When it came to you, a couple of years ago, I've been dying to ask you this question for the past few years. A couple of years ago, you came out to say, I'm done with secular music. I'm now just going to be, it was said that you said, I'm done with secular music. I'm now just singing for the Lord. Christian music, gospel music. What happened? Did this really happen? Did you really say those words? What caused this to happen?
Okay, so this is what happened. The Lord found me, right? And that was, I think, around 2020 in March. And then after that, I was really asking God what I should do, because obviously it affects the whole person when you turn your life around, or when He turns your life around. So I was like kind of finding myself. So I was kind of finding myself, and that statement was made during that time where I was trying to find myself.
And COVID was a hard time for a lot of people.
It was.
It led us to do a lot of introspection.
Exactly.
And
but for me, it had nothing to do with COVID. It had more to do with the calling itself. Because you are trying to find out where you now stand in terms of your artistry and everything. But one thing that I've also realized, and according to the people that I meet, the fans, of course, they are like, your music has always been speaking to us, in positive ways. So that has kind of helped me to think things through, and then also kind of reshape my music, because now I am more focused on just doing music that builds.
Motivational music. Things, even if it's going to be about love, it still has to build love. So it will be less of the heartbreak songs, but more of the positive side of love, positive side of things. All right. So so when you made that decision, you said it was about the relationship, this connection that you have made with God, right?
Yes. True.
And so over the years, what changed? What brought you back into the music scene? Because at the time, it was implied that you were done with the music unless it involves you performing at church. But now we see you're back to performing at this most popular venue that you used to be at in Milton Park. We can't say the name though. But you've gone back now. So is this a case of you backsliding, or you rearranging or repositioning your thoughts and your position as far as this stance was concerned?
Okay, it's more about being a fisher of men. I don't know if that answers everything.
Please elaborate for the layman.
If I am going to preach Christ to people, I have to be with them. Yeah. So if I think one of the last shows, or maybe the last of the last one before the last one,
before the one 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, before the 1 2 weeks ago. I remember I sang 2 or 3 gospel songs on there, and I've always done that, by the way. I've always sung gospel songs at my shows, even in a club. So I've decided, like, if I'm going to say something to people, I have to be with them. There's no way that I'm going to just sing for Christians, I need to sing for people that are not Christians as well, because they need the hope.
Being
they
the
need to know
of man.
exactly. So that is where this whole decision came from. So maybe some of them, they don't know what I'm doing, but that's what I'm doing to them.
Because there was talk about that in the streets. They're like, people always find something to say, even if it's not the truth. They'll assume that this is probably the position, right? So you're explaining, no, I'm still very much a Christian, still working for God.
Yes, exactly.
But at the same time,
because it's more about what the motive behind. Everything is about the motive behind. You can just sing. Anybody can just sing. But if you're singing for a cause, that's a different thing altogether.
So how does the church feel about you singing for so
it's not about the church, like the people in the church. It's about God himself. How does God feel about that? So
someone had to say it.
So for me, my apostle knows that. I'm a pastor, by the way, and my congregants, they know that. So God is taking me somewhere, and I'm just following.
But you're that pastor that now everybody's going to like, because you sing to us in the bar.
And it'll be easy to catch the fish, you see now.
So what happens when you've performed, it's usiku, someone has probably been indulging in the wise waters, and then they feel like, no, like, so what happens? Do you then pray for them? Do you minister to them immediately after your show?
No.
Later, what happens?
No. Well, if you're gonna come to me, then I'll definitely have to look you up later on. But if you're not gonna get in touch with me, it'll be very difficult for me to do that. And besides, the point is not really on maybe preaching to the person there and then, but it's just to keep people engaged. It's not like I said then it's fine for me to just get their contacts and then we can talk later, because the thing is, preaching is not just words. Preaching is a lifestyle, like the way that you live your life, the way you carry yourself, everything about a person preaches. So for me, even if you look at my social media and everything, I do post scriptures, and I don't want to lose any fans. I want them to be there because I want them to see the scriptures as well.
Alexio, your day one fans who love and understand you will support you so on this journey. They will not judge you. I was just asking these questions because we're seeking clarity.
Thank you so
much. We've got a brand new song that was released 4 days ago. It's called Miracle. You said you are still preaching positivity and motivation and the brighter side of anything. So what is Miracle about?
Miracle is about life. If you actually think about it deeply and you think that this world was made from nothing, that's a miracle. So basically everything that we live is actually it's actually a miracle. So miracle is about that. It's about acknowledging that life is not really something that we can really understand. The highest power is the only one that can actually understand, and it's actually the one that makes things happen. So that's what it's about.
Okay. And when anyone listens to the song, what are you hoping they get out of it, or they connect with it? In what way?
I hope they'll get to see that if you get, like I said, if you get to think about life deeply, you see that there is the highest power. There is something that makes things happen, and that's, I'm hoping to direct people to that power. I'm hoping to direct people to God, to be precise. Yes.
All right, so what's next for Alexio? We're in the second half of the year. What are we planning? Festive season. Are we getting an album, an EP? What's the plan?
For this year, no album. I have a single that I'm working with I don't know if you know 3D, Cornelius. He's my producer, so we have a track that we're working on together, and then I have another one that is coming up. So I have like three tracks lined up for the year. The last one is called Tavarisa, which will be the Tavarisa Gore. And then,
I like that. Very
and then next year people should expect a couple of other singles and then an album.
All right, and you can get all of this music on Alexio's channels. Before we drop Miracle, we see you brought your son here. What do your kids think about your music? When they hear your songs playing, what do they say?
Well, there's the older one. He's now older, so he can now.
He's in high school, yes.
Yes, so that one can say out his mind, and I'm sure he also does. The one that I'm with in the studio today, Nesu. but the other one anotaura kuti he track iri boy.
Oh wow.
He track iri, and it's a good thing, you know, because
kids are honest.
Exactly. And akazvitaura at his age, unozwa kuti zvoni apa age pamwe ndatovarasa, they are not going to connect with this song. So for me, it's all I love how they actually critique my music.
All right.
Yeah.
Hi, bestie Wabanye. Everybody's claiming you, but I think Bulawayo also needs to claim you. You're our bestie. Please, 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 when Pop Choir is next in Bulawayo, can you please be the guest artist? Please, we need you here. We also need to experience you. It's Tandigon Tutu.
Okay.
And we need you in Bulawayo, please.
I think that's up to the
promoters.
To the promoters,
right.
Yeah.
But he's willing. He's willing.
I'm always willing.
If he says no, please call me. I'll get him there for you.
Hello, Alexio Kawara. How are you? I'm happy to hear your voice. Chambari, kwaizove ma auto books. Inini ndave ne auto book rangu. Mu auto book rangu first song yeve musikana kanaka tinodanana na shaina. Alexio Kawara yo. Ndapandarangarira masiva aya. Ndapandarangarira simu. I miss my auto book. Hey, I have to check for it. Kuti ex wangu achiri naro here. Because ndakamupa kuti ari kivi.
Ayo rakapiswa. Sorry, rakapiswa. Anyway, so we're about to drop the song Miracle from Alexio. I'm going to sign out right now because Alexio is going to introduce his own song. But this has been The Big Show with Chimbari. You can catch this conversation on YouTube a little later on and check out, and also on our social media pages, ZiFM Stereo. Check out all the fun we're having in the studio. So it's your time, Alexio. Introduce Basaragwe.
Hi everyone, this is Alexio Kawara introducing my latest track called Miracle, produced by Chiweda, backing vocalist by Tami Moyo, guitar by Welly Strings.
Icho, we're out. Bye.